Hello everyone. Question is Universal Containers has role-based technicians and managers who handle service appointments. Many times technicians arrive on site but are unable to gain access to the customer's equipment. In this scenario, only the manager has permission to cancel the service appointment. How should a consultant recommend adhering to this business process? Option A. Assign permission sets that allow status transitions. Option B. Allow status transitions based on role. Option C. Limit status transitions based on profile. Option D. Configure status transitions based on resource type. Correct answer is option C. Question is Universal Containers is tracking customer issues in their call center. Sometimes this requires a technician to be on site at the customer's location. What set of steps should a consultant recommend to dispatch the technician? Option A. Create case, create service appointment, create work order, dispatch service appointment. Option B. Create work order, create case, dispatch work order, create service appointment. Option C. Create service appointment, create work order, create case, dispatch service appointment. Option D. Create case, create work order, create service appointment, dispatch service appointment. Correct answer is option D. Question is Universal Containers wants field technicians to capture customer authorization via a signature through Salesforce mobile app. What should a consultant recommend? Option A. Create a quick action on the service appointment to launch a Visualforce signature page. Option B. Create an approval process from the service appointment for the customer's authorization. Option C. Create a checkbox on the service appointment that will capture the customer's authorization. Option D. Create a custom text field to capture the customer's signature on Salesforce mobile app. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers maintains their service level agreements at the customer level only. How can a consultant ensure agents can verify coverage? Option A. Set up entitlement process, set up service contracts, display the related list on the contact page layout. Option B. Create milestones, set up entitlement process, display the related list on the work order page layout. Option C. Create milestones, set up entitlement process, display the related list on the account page layout. Option D. Create contact line items, set up the entitlement process, display the related list on the asset page layout. Correct answer is option C. Question is in the dispatch console when viewing the map, which three data elements can be presented to the dispatcher? Option A. Google's traffic data. Option B. Service appointment dependencies. Option C. Resources home base. Option D. Service appointments. Option E. Resources travel speed. Correct answer is option A, C and option D. Question is Universal Containers wants to invoice its customer for the parts when used when performing repairs on installed assets. What should a consultant recommend to track the price of the parts consumed? Option A. Use products and price books to track the price. Option B. Use opportunity line items and price books to track the price. Option C. Use a custom object to model the work order pricing and price. Option D. Use assets and products to track the price. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is Universal Containers wants to track the total associated price when servicing work orders for customers. Which two of the following should the consultant recommend? Option A. Use work order and work order line items. Option B. Use a custom object to model the work order pricing. Option C. Use the Einstein pricing configurator. Option D. Set up products and price books. Correct answer is option A and option D. Question is Universal Containers performs service on field assets that require a sequence of work tasks. A consultant has recommended work order line items to manage the tasks and assets or parts necessary to manage the work. Which two of the following must be considered as part of this solution to ensure work orders are properly completed? Choose two options. Option A. Use of work order line items that automatically inherit the hierarchy of assets attached to work order. Option B. Use of a parent-child work order line item to create a work order line item hierarchy. Option C. Use of work order line items to link to a specific asset within the asset hierarchy that represents the BOM. Option D. Use of standard reports to view parent and root work order lines items within work orders by customer. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is Universal Containers wants their technicians to record asset number using a barcode scanner when completing work orders. What field type should be configured to capture this information? Option A. Barcode. Option B. Date. Option C. Formula. Option D. Text. Correct answer is option D. Question is Universal Containers has a partner community. Work orders are assigned to these partners. Partners are not interacting with service appointments or service resources. How would a partner user update the work order record from a mobile device? Option A. Field Service Mobile App. Option B. Salesforce Mobile App. Option C. Work order records cannot be updated on a mobile device. Option D. Salesforce Touch. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers wants to reduce their mean time to service. Which three-field service process should a consultant recommend to accomplish this goal? Option A. Adjust scheduling policy. Option B. Knowledge base. Option C. Dispatching. Option D. Customer entitlements. Option E. Scheduling. Correct answer is option A, B and option C. Question is a client service representative CSR receives a call from a customer on Saturday. The CSR determines that the customer is covered, but the coverage is about to expire. Which two upsell activities should the CSR consider? Option A. Open a case and send email with new service offerings. Option B. Open a case and inform customer of weekend service pricing. Option C. Open a case and a renewal opportunity for the sales team. Option D. Open a case and create a work order for the dispatch team. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is Universal Containers UC is using field service and has customer meetings at UC's offices. When booking meetings, they would like them to begin on the hour, every hour between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. How can this be achieved? Option A. Use customer operating hours. Option B. Use exact appointments on the work types. Option C. Use territory-specific operating hours. Option D. Use multiple operating hours with slots for each hour. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is Universal Containers wants the ability for their field technicians to log sales opportunities associated with their work orders. What configuration should a consultant implement so field technicians can easily achieve this through the field service mobile app? Option A. Quick action on opportunity to create work order. Option B. Quick action on opportunity to create work order line item. Option C. Quick action on work order to create opportunity. Option D. Quick action on work order line items to create opportunity. Correct answer is option C. Question is Universal Containers UC wants to generate work orders from their customer service cases. UC would like the work order to be linked to the case and have the customer service representative select a predefined template for the work order within the service console. Which two items should a consultant recommend in order to achieve this? Option A. Use record types to achieve predefined templates. Option B. Add the work order quick action on the case. Option C. Add the work order quick action on the account. Option D. Use work types to achieve predefined templates. Correct answer is option B and option D. Question is Universal Containers wants service managers to quickly identify location and status changes in the life cycle of a specific component in a customer's install base. What should a consultant recommend to track the life cycle? Option A. Utilize custom fields for change tracking on assets. Option B. Utilize field history tracking on assets. Option C. Utilize lifecycle object tracking on assets. Option D. Utilize a work order related list on assets. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers provides multiple service types, that is installation, maintenance, break or fix, etc. Each service requires a variety of skills and certifications in order for a resource to excel. Which two configurations should a consultant implement to meet these requirements? Option A. Select the relevant work types for each resource. Option B. Use work types with required skills. Option C. Assign the appropriate skills to resources. Option D. Create multiple work orders line items per service. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is a field service technician wants to view a list of parts consumed during a given time period. The technician will then use the data to replenish inventory on the truck. Which three steps should a consultant recommend to track the number of parts consumed? Option A. Build a report to view products consumed on work order line items. Option B. Build a report to view inventory transactions. Option C. Build a report to view products consumed on work orders. Option D. Build a report using the service appointment inventory module. Option E. Build a report using the work order inventory module. Correct answer is option A, B, and option C. Question is Universal Containers wants to help their dispatches determine the length of time a work order should last. What should the consultant implement to help achieve this goal? Option A. Work types with an estimated duration. Option B. Work orders with operating hours. Option C. Operating hours for customer accounts. Option D. Work types with service level agreement. Correct answer is option A. Question is Universal Containers wants to ensure that service appointments are only assigned to active resources. What configuration should a consultant recommend for the scheduling policy? Option A match Boolean. Option B match fields. Option C preferred resources. Option D required resources. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is Universal Containers UC wants to better understand their service business and field service technician teams' schedules. A consultant suggested UC start to forecast and plan. Which two abilities does forecasting and planning provide? Option A. Proactively adjust to demand fluctuations. Option B. More consistently meet customer response times. Option C. More accurately assign work orders based on skills. Option D. Proactively adjust service contracts. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is Universal Containers would like to report on the volume of products installed within a specific time frame. What solution will help meet the customer's requirement? Option A. Utilize a work order related list on asset. Option B. Utilize a custom installation date field on asset. Option C. Utilize field history tracking on asset. Option D. Utilize the standard installation date field on asset. Correct answer is option D. Question is Universal Containers UC technicians often report seeing competitors' asset when on site. UC would like to run a report on which of their customers have competitive assets. How should a consultant recommend meeting this requirement using the field service mobile app? Option A. Manually create a competitor's asset record on the field service mobile app. Option B. Use a quick action to create a competitor's asset record on the field service mobile app. Option C. Use a macro to create a competitor's asset record on the field service mobile app. Option D. Use a quick action to create a note to explain the competitor's asset and attach it to the work order. Correct answer is option B. Question is Universal Containers does not want the lunch break to interface with existing scheduled work. How should a consultant configure the scheduling policy to ensure a 30-minute lunch break that begins every day after 1 p.m.? Option A. Create resource absences every day. Option B. Create a recurring service appointment. Option C. Use appropriate resource operating hours. Option D. Use the resource availability rule. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers provides prompt service and has multiple service levels for different customers. Over 50% of service appointments are created on the same day they need to be completed. As a result, a technician's daily schedule can change multiple times throughout the day. What method of dispatching should a consultant recommend implementing? Option A. Automatically schedule unscheduled services to available resources. Option B. Automatically change the status to dispatch of all service appointments. Option C. Automatically dispatch service appointments using drip feed. Option D. Automatically run optimization background job every hour. Correct answer is option D. Question is Universal Containers is looking to implement entitlement management to meet the following requirements. First, any employee from the customer account is eligible for support. Option B. Specific purchased products are eligible for support. What objects should be set up to entitlement management? Option A. Accounts and service contracts. Option B. Contacts and service contracts. Option C. Accounts and assets. Option D. Contacts and assets. Correct answer is option C. Question is Universal Containers wants to process mobile payments. How can this requirement be met? Option A. Attach a picture of the credit card. Option B. Add a custom field to store the credit card number. Option C. Install an app exchange package. Option D. Create a custom payments object. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is upon arrival for a service appointment, the field service technician reports that a team of people is required to resolve the issue. How can the dispatcher ensure that the required staff is assigned to the project? Option A. Assign the existing work order to a crew. Option B. Assign the existing service appointment to a crew. Option C. Assign the existing work order to each staff member. Option D. Create a new service appointment and assign a crew. Correct answer is option D. Question is what set of configurations make up scheduling policies and let companies adhere to their business constraints and preferences? Option A. Service objectives and work rules. Option B. Service labels and work rules. Option C. Service objectives and work rules. Work types. Option D. Service contracts and service labels. Correct answer is option A. Question is Universal Containers has implemented a knowledge solution for agents to provide field technicians with information necessary to complete assigned work. Which two capabilities will now be available? Option A. Manage attached articles and search the knowledge base. Option B. Attach knowledge articles to work order line items only. Option C. Attach articles to work orders and work order line items. Option D. Include quick actions and global actions in attached articles. Correct answer is option A and option C. Question is Universal Containers provides 24 into 7 service support to its customers. However, their field service technicians have specified working hours. Which two items should the consultant create? Option A, create operating hours for the service resource. Option B, create operating hours for the optimization engine. Option C, create operating hours for the service appointment. Option D, create operating hours for the service territory. Correct answer is option A and option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers needs to write their Heroku applications log to two destinations, an on-premises syslog log server and a cloud analytics provider that ingests log using an HTTPS endpoint. What should an architect recommend in this scenario? Option A, publish all logs to Apache Kafka on Heroku and create a separate app that consumes and distributes log messages. Option B, write all logs to Heroku Redis as a buffer and use an add-on to send them to both destinations. Option C, add a logging library to the application source that sends all logs directly to the both destinations. Option D, write all logs to stdout and configure a separate log drain for each destination. Correct answer is option D. Question is a client is creating a new API application. The app should only be accessible from other apps that they deploy to Heroku. Also, traffic between the other apps and the API should not transit the public internet. Which solution should an architect recommend to meet these requirements? Option A, create the application in a private space with default options. Option B, create the application in a private space and restrict the application's set of trusted IP ranges. Option C, create the application with internal routing enabled in a private space. Option D, create the application in a sealed private space to enforce stricter requirements for TLS termination. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is which three items are required to successfully set up single sign-on SSO services with Heroku? Option A, an identity provider with built-in support for Heroku. Option B, a Heroku enterprise team. Option C, an existing Heroku account for each user. Option D, at least one valid SSO certificate. Option E, administrative permissions on the selected identity provider. Correct answer is option A, B, and option E. Question is a client wants to create a secure network connection between Heroku applications running in a private space and an AWS VPC. Which Heroku features should an architect recommend to create the connection? Option A, internal routing. Option B, private space peering. Option C, private space VPN connections. Option D, Heroku Connect. Correct answer is option C. Question is Universal Containers has a Heroku app that uses several third-party add-ons. They now need to enforce data privacy and be compliant with General Data Protection Regulation GDPR. What should an architect advise UC regarding data residency in this scenario? Option A. Heroku does not control where add-on providers store data. Option B. Heroku support can configure add-ons for specific data residency needs. Option C. Heroku guarantees the physical location of its control surface APIs. Option D. Data residency for add-ons is covered under Salesforce's GDPR compliance. Correct answer is option B. Question is, a client wants to use Heroku to build a data bridge between Salesforce and Google Cloud Platform GCP. Which combination of Heroku features should an architect recommend to secure the connection between Heroku and GCP? Option A. Heroku Sealed Private Spaces and Heroku Sealed Connect. Option B. Heroku Private Spaces and Private Space VPN connections. Option C. Heroku Private Spaces and Private Space Peering. Option D. Heroku Sealed Private Spaces and Internal Routing. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a healthcare services client is requesting an architecture for a set of applications. One is making application and the other two are of customer service applications that allow for customers to interact with their healthcare records. The marketing application must be able to scale up within seconds in response to traffic spikes. The client wants to be able to deploy each of these applications to the US East Coast and EMEA. Which applications should be deployed into which Heroku runtime? Option A. The marketing application into private spaces, customer service applications into sealed private spaces. Option B. The marketing application into the common runtime, customer service applications into sealed private spaces. Option C. The marketing application into the common runtime, customer service applications into private spaces. Option D. The marketing application into private spaces, customer service applications into separate private spaces. Correct answer is option A. Question is, Universal Containers experienced an outage with their production Heroku PostGRE's database due to a fault with the underlying infrastructure. The database was unavailable for an hour. The database is on Standard Zero plan. Which two actions should an architect recommend to mitigate such database failures and outages in the future? Option A. Create a follower database that uses the same plan as the leader. Option B. Migrate the database to a premium tier plan. Option C. Migrate the database to a larger standard tier plan. Option D. Create a fork of the database that uses the same plan as the leader. Correct answer is option A and option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a client wants to create a scalable set of microservices that communicate with each other where multiple microservices have a public REST API. Which architecture strategy allows this on Heroku? Option A. Each microservice is a separate Heroku app. The microservices communicate by using Apache Kafka as a message bus. Option B. Each microservice is a separate process type in a single Heroku app. The microservices communicate by using Redis as a message bus. Option C. Each microservice is a separate private space. The microservices communicate by using DNS service discovery. Option D. Each microservice is a separate process in a single Heroku app. The microservices communicate by using shared memory. Correct answer is option C. Question is Universal Containers UC has configured SSO for their Heroku enterprise team using an identity provider IDP. When a new employee joins the company, how should their Heroku account be created? Option A. A Heroku account is created for the employees automatically the first time they log into Heroku via SSO. Option B. The employee should create a new Heroku account with the exact email address listed in their IDP record. Option C. No account creation is required because all SSO users in a particular enterprise team are associated with a single Heroku account. Option D. An administrator of the enterprise team creates the Heroku account with the exact email address listed in the employee's IDP record. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is Universal Containers UC recently acquired another company, International Shipping. Each company has its own Salesforce org and UC wants those orgs to remain separate for the foreseeable future. Given this scenario, which Heroku features should an architect recommend to provide additional value to UC following the acquisition? Option A. Heroku Connect can be used to synchronize data directly between the two Salesforce orgs. Option B. Both orgs can be attached to the same Heroku application as an add-on to ensure data residency in the application's region. Option C. Heroku external objects can expose read-only data from both Salesforce orgs to Heroku Post GREs. Option D. Heroku Post GREs database can sync data from both orgs for advanced querying capabilities. Correct answer is option A. Question is Universal Containers UC has expressed a desire to have encryption at rest enabled on their Heroku Post GREs databases. Which 3 tiers would UC need to use to have that feature enabled? Option A. Private. Option B. Standard. Option C. Hobby. Option D. Sealed. Option E. Premium. Correct answer is option A, B and option E. Question is a client wants to secure their web application using SSL TLS. They do not have specific requirements regarding using a particular version of SSL TLS. Which two Heroku features should an architect recommend as options? Option A. Heroku Private Spaces. Option B. Automated Certificate Management. Option C. Heroku SSL. Option D. Heroku Sealed Private Spaces. Correct answer is option B and option C. Question is a Heroku application uses Heroku Connect to integrate with data from a Salesforce org. Since then, several fields from the Salesforce objects that were mapped using Connect have been removed. As a result, the development team will reload the mapping using Heroku Connect. What is an implication of reloading the map? Option A. The mapped tables in Heroku Post GREs will continue to store the previously synchronized data and synchronization will restart normally. Option B. The mapped tables in Heroku Post GREs will be truncated as part of the reload action. The data is in removed fields will be lost and synchronization will pause until manually restarted. Option C. The mapped tables in Heroku post GREs will continue to store the previously synchronized data, but synchronization will pause until manually restarted. Option D. The mapped tables in Heroku post GREs will be truncated as part of the reload action. The data in removed fields will be lost, and synchronization will restart normally. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is, a customer wants to sync data between their Salesforce org and Heroku post GREs. Which two limitations should an architect remember when recommending Heroku Connect? Option A. Heroku Connect can only access fields and objects that its associated Salesforce integration user can access. Option B. Heroku Connect does not support all Salesforce objects and fields. Option C. Heroku Connect does not provide an API. Option D. Heroku Connect cannot sync custom objects. Correct answer is option A and option C. Question is, a financial reporting application hosted on an on-premises server uses a native library of this to convert its HTML reports into PDFs. The app is being migrated to Heroku. What option should an architect recommend to enable the Heroku application to use this? Option A. Ensure that the Heroku app fetches this library from cloud storage on Dino Restart. Option B. Install the dependency using sudo apt install this from .profile in the project root. Option C. Continue the host of this on-premise and build a REST API so the library can be invoked from the Heroku app. Option D. Use a custom build pack to install WK-HTML to PDF using apt. Correct answer is option D. Question is, Universal Containers UC uses Apache Kafka on Heroku to stream shipment inventory data in real time throughout the world. A Kafka topic is used to send messages with updates on the shipping container GPS coordinates as they are in transit. UC is using a Heroku Kafka Basic Zero plan. The topic was provisioned with 8 partitions, 1 week of retention, and no compaction. The keys for the events are being assigned by Heroku Kafka, which means that they will be randomly distributed between the partitions. UC has a single Dino consumer application that persists the data to their Enterprise Data Warehouse (EDW). Recently, they have been noticing data loss in the EDW. What should an architect with Kafka experience recommend? Option A. Enable compaction on the topic to drop older messages, which will drop older messages with the same key. Option B. Upgrade to a larger Apache Kafka for Heroku plan, which has greater data capacity. Option C. Use Heroku Redis to store messages receipt information to account for at least once delivery, which will guarantee that messages are never proposed more than once. Scale up the consumer dynos to match the number of partitions so that there is one process to each partition. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is a client wants to use Heroku Connect to sync data from a Heroku PostGRE table to a Salesforce org. The client only needs to sync a specific subset of the rows in the table. How should this be performed? Option A. Add a mapping filter to the table when setting up the sync and select appropriate criteria from the list. Option B. Filter the data in the database and provide an alternative table or view for use in the sync. Option C. Use the Heroku Connect mapping query editor and add filters to the query. Option D. Place sharing rules on the records and restrict visibility to only those rows that are needed. Correct answer is option D. Question is a client has a web application that persists data to a local JSON file. They are migrating the application to Heroku. In order for the application to conform to the 12-factor methodology, what changes should an architect recommend? Option A. The application should persist the data to a database add-on. Option B. The application should persist the data to a local SQLite database. Option C. The application should use at least 2 dynos to ensure that the JSON file is highly available. Option D. The application should be stateless and therefore not persist data at all. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is a client's Heroku application is publishing messages to an instance of Apache Kafka on Heroku. What does a second Heroku application need to do to consume those messages? Option A. Subscribe to the Kafka partitions that the messages are being published to. Option B. Join a consumer group that also include the publishing application. Option C. Subscribe to the Kafka topics that the messages are being published to. Option D. Convert the publishing application into a stream processor. Correct answer is option A. Question is Universal Containers is developing a new application that has a lightweight Node.js front end. They will also be using a Java-based API which combines data with Salesforce customer data. Option A. All of the data and the API is highly confidential. What should an architect suggest to enforce security? Sorry, this is also question. Option B. Deploy the apps into either Heroku runtime, force the Java app to use a CDN, and point the node.js app to its appname.herokuapp.com domain. Option C. Deploy all of the apps to the common runtime. Force the Java app to use SSITLS sessions and point the node.js app to its appname.herokuapp.com domain. Option D. Deploy all of the apps to a Heroku private space. Force the Java app to use SSITLS sessions and point the node.js app to its appname.herokuapp.com domain. Option E. Deploy all of the apps to a Heroku private space. Deploy the Java app with internal routing enabled. Deploy the Node.js app without internal routing enabled. Correct answer is option D. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is a client runs an application on a background worker dyno. The application allows its users to request personalized information as a PDF. At peak usage, the app processes millions of requests at once. The resulting number of requests has caused a bottleneck that is impacting its performance. Which two solutions can an architect recommend to resolve the bottleneck and improve performance? Option A: increase the number of workers to consume the job faster. Option B: move the application to a private space. Option C: add Heroku Redis as a job queue. Option D: add a CDN add-on from the Elements marketplace. Correct answer is option A and option B. Question is: Universal Containers wants to limit the total cost of their Heroku users while they are getting started on the platform. To accomplish this, they consider replacing certain add-ons with comparable open source components. But the development team doesn't want to lose access to certain features that the add-ons provide. Which option should an architect recommend for reducing add-on cost without affecting feature availability? Option A: remove aliases for high-cost add-ons. Option B: share a single instance of a compatible paid add-on across multiple applications. Option C: remove data store add-ons from the staging and development versions of the applications. Option D: migrate add-ons to free plans. Correct answer is option C. Question is: Universal Containers UC has a Heroku application that runs in Virginia, in the US, that uses Apache Kafka on Heroku. They have deployed a copy of the app in ASI. Now both apps need a messaging backbone that will support multi-region distribution. What is the least complex architecture that an architect should recommend? Option B: deploy a multi-region version of Apache Kafka on Heroku. Option C: use Heroku's multi-tenant Kafka basic plan. Option D: the app in Asia should write to the Kafka instance in Virginia. Option E: provision a second Kafka add-on in ASI. Option F: each instance of the app should sync with each other. Correct answer is option B. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Hello everyone. Question is: Universal Containers UC wants to allow its developers to only use certain add-ons. UC enables add-on controls for enterprise teams and adds the add-ons they wish to allow to the list. There is an existing set of add-ons attached to applications which are not on the list. What happens to these add-ons? Option A: they are deleted and all data is backed up and saved. Option B: they are added to the allowed add-ons list. Option C: they are added to the exception list and not affected. Option D: they are flagged for removal and the developers are notified. Correct answer is option D. Question is: which Heroku runtimes provide keystroke logging? Option A: the common runtime private spaces and sealed private spaces. Option A: the common runtime private spaces and sealed private spaces. Option B: private spaces and sealed private spaces. Option C: sealed private spaces only. Option D: keystroke logging is not available on Heroku. Correct answer is option B. Question is: a client is planning to deploy an application to Heroku. The client's IT department requires all applications to be hosted from Australia, where their main office is located. Regulators in Australia require keystroke logs of all engineers who create interactive sessions for the application. Which should an architect recommend in this scenario? Option A. Deploy the application to a private space in the Sydney region with private space logging enabled. Option B. Deploy the application to the common runtime in the Sydney region. Option C. Deploy the application to a sealed private space in the Sydney region. Option D. Deploy the application to a private space in the Sydney region with internal routing enabled. Correct answer is option C. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Question is, a client wants to migrate their on-premise application to Heroku. The application maintains a local in-memory cache for its data store to improve performance. What should an architect advise the client about running the application on Heroku? Option A. The application should declare its in-memory cache as a separate process type to preserve it across deploys. Option B. All of the application's web dynos will share a single in-memory cache. Option C. The application should replicate its in-memory cache to a local disk to preserve it across deploys. Option D. The application's in-memory cache might be cleared at any time. Correct answer is option A. Question is, a client's Heroku web application displays data that is fetched from a back-end file storage system. The client now wants this data to be viewable but not editable from their Salesforce org. Which recommendations should an architect make in this scenario? Option A. Replicate the files to tables in a Heroku PostGRE's database and use Heroku Connect to synchronize the tables to the Salesforce org. Option B. Store all file URLs in a Heroku's PostGRE's table and use Heroku Connect to synchronize the table to the Salesforce org. Option C. Replicate the files to tables in a Heroku PostGRE's table and use Heroku external objects to expose the tables to the Salesforce org. Option D. Replicate the files to the application's local file system and use worker dynos to periodically sync them to the Salesforce org. Correct answer is option A. Question is, Universal Containers UC is opening offices in Japan and Germany. They will allow them to serve new customers in Asia and in Europe. UC is connected about application latency for their new customers, especially because the app server serves large amounts of dynamic content. Which Heroku enterprise features should an architect recommend to alleviate this concern? Option A. Create Salesforce orgs in each region and use Heroku Connect to link them. Option B. Deploy instances of their applications into private spaces in Tokyo and Frankfurt. Option C. Deploy a globally distributed CDN in front of the application. Option D. Create a Heroku pipeline to mirror the app and its data in each region. Correct answer is option A. You can download the complete list of recently updated contents from the link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe.